What you mean, let's go, Cino? You should know Cino's always live. Filthy Frank is in the house? What it do, Filthy Frank? Tommy dies. What's good, everybody? Sleep is for the weak. Yep. So, oh, well, thank you, Mr. Howell. Now, everyone's saying, what can we expect in season 5? We're hoping that they finally get an extension to get 12 episodes in a season. It's not like Starz got anything to do in the 12 seasons or anything to complain about. What are they complaining about? Starz is making the most money they've ever made in their life by having Power on. Tommy's not going to get killed off. But something's going to happen to Tommy, I believe, in season 5. That's going to require Ghost to be more involved. There's going to be 7 seasons of Power. They've already signed for 7 seasons. They've written 5 already. These scripts have already been written. When they first did Power, they wrote 5 seasons. So all of this you're seeing was done during the original season. Now they're working on seasons 6 and 7 as we speak, as far as the writing process. Power starts shooting in less than 2 weeks. Yeah, this thing is screwed up again. Hold on. Okay, hopefully we fixed everything. Let's try to go back here and get back to where we were. Now, here's the situation. Ghost is in a whole catch-22 situation because now he's caught up with this councilman where you really don't know Lorenz Tate motive yet. All you know is that he's addicted to money. Money seems to be his main motivation. He's addicted to money, and that's all anybody really knows about him. Every time you turn around, that it's a favor for a favor. Ghost and Kanan don't really have an angle against each other no more. Now that they've had the conversation, he understands that Ghost really saved his life. Because he knew the rules. Ghost could have killed him. Like they did Breeze and took it over. But because he cared for Kanan so much, he just sent him to jail instead of killing him. Because he could have done that. And now that 50 actually saw what Ghost obtained while he was in jail and how rich he got, he was like, man, it was the right decision. As a hustler, he understood that decision because it's what Kanan would have did. But Kanan would have killed him had he knew to drop. So once he found out, like, man, I cared too much about you. You taught me everything I knew. I couldn't kill you. So that's what got him thinking, like, man, I don't like what Ghost did, but I can't kill him like this. Now, for what we know going into season 5, everybody's on board that Dre is a problem. Dre is now backed by the Jimenez. And now that he's got his Italian buddies mixed into this, I told you, Ozark is what's up. They're getting some in return. The mob is getting drug money. They're moving drugs from Chicago now. They're part of the mix. Their money supply is going up. Now, what people are not concerned about and is totally ignored is that they're still tracking Tommy's car. That tracker is still under Tommy's car. People forgot about that. When Tommy got his car back from his mom, when they put that illegal tracker under Tommy's car, his mom ended up getting the car. And he got the car back, and you see the tracker right at the end of it. The tracker is still under the car. It is turned on. It's still beeping. So they know exactly where Tommy was, and his car was outside of the location where the officer Jones was murdered. Proctor still has that computer, and Sachs is going to lead an investigation against James St. Patrick because that is his determination right there. He wants to get Ghost just to hurt Angela because he knows Angela's crooked, especially with Sandoval turned up dying in prison when it was only them that knew. When she got Sandoval killed. That's the girl from part 1, the very first episode of Power, when they're in the warehouse. And her case wouldn't even go through, it would never even go this far. She never seen him. She says she's blindfolded. She only going off the voice and said, I think it's James St. Patrick. That's not enough evidence for the government who's already been humiliated by trying to prosecute this man. It is retarded. Because what evidence could she bring to the table? All of it is circumstantial. But Sachs is going to keep digging. Now, Tasha, I believe, is, she's going to be gone for a while. So I think that she's not going to be around as much because she's pregnant. So they're going to write her probably going to jail. Or going to court and fighting the case. Because Talib, Ghost is a hustler from the streets. They didn't have to meet. He knew of him. He knew he worked with Jukebox. Jukebox knew who Ghost was. His reputation carried over. He was a monster in the streets. But Ray Ray's a cop. It didn't matter. Jukebox was a cop too. She knew who Ghost was. Well, the Italians are going to make things a lot rougher for Dre. This works out perfect for... Dre is the new Connect. So the only thing a new Connect could do is not be a problem. Well, she's going to claim self-defense. She's going to say, this is the person that killed my son. I went over there to confront him and I shot him with my gun. Then they're going to be like, well, who cleaned up the body? Then that's a whole nother story. And Tariq, he put everyone, oh no, it wasn't a great episode. Don't say that. Don't say it was a great Gator. Don't say it was a great episode, because it was not. It had a lot of flaws. A lot of flaws. And this comes from the idea of them not being able to put everything in proper, they have to rush everything together because they don't have the proper time to dissect it, to let it all, marinate. We couldn't see the impact of what Ghost and Tasha went through when they found out initially Raina was dead. When the episode comes on, they already know. They're already at the police station. We have to assume, how did Ghost know that Tariq was even going over to Ray Ray's house? We never got that. We never seen Ghost get that information. We had to assume, because Tasha couldn't reach Ghost. Y'all forgot that. Tasha couldn't reach Ghost because his phone wasn't there. So Tasha would have had to call Tommy, and Tommy would have had to tell Ghost. Because Tommy didn't know either that Tariq was on his way over there. The only person who knew was Tasha. So Tasha, we have to use our imagination and say Tasha called Tommy, Tommy called Ghost. That's what we have to do because we don't know. Everything was a quick fix. They had to bridge everything together in 1 hour. They had to bridge the fact that Dre got Julio killed. So they had to come up with a quick way to bridge Tommy and Kanan together by Kanan assuming that Tommy would send Tyanos over there to kill him when he just asked Dre, yo, what's up with that money? Then some Tyanos come to kill him. The first person he gonna think about is Tommy? That didn't even make any sense. So they did that so that they could have this little introduction. And he says, oh, well, you're cool with me. You helped out Tariq. We ain't got no beef. You saved Tariq's life. We ain't got no beef. We good, brother. Then, right before he's finna die, he says, I killed Julio, man. Dre set me up. Why would he say that? That made no sense. It made zero sense for him to do that. I mean, it made no sense for the Tayano guy to come in there and say, I killed Julio. That just made no sense. And Dre set it up. That's just spotty writing to speed things up. The fact that Tommy tells the guy, the Reverend, that he knows that. Now, I'm not drunk, Rob. What are you talking about? He tells the Reverend, well, you know, such and such killed what's his name? Hold on, somebody's blowing my phone up. Yeah, I mean, but he tells him, yeah, I just found out it was Dre. Yeah, Dre, man. Dre killed Julio. And then the guy goes and tells him, I can't work with you, Dre. Why? You killed Julio. Who told you that? Tommy. Why would you go and say that? They needed to do that to speed this thing along. What sense did that make? That was so dumb. They just wanted to find a way. And the fact that Tasha would end up there, everybody's at the house. Tasha's there, Tariq is there, Ghost is there, and Tommy's there at the location. I'm like, why? Oh, God. The fact that Tariq, their daughter just died less than 24 hours ago. Tasha's outside of the house leaving her kids. Was she even holding her daughter ever in this episode? No. I mean, Hollywood is Hollywood, but you gotta have some things that's believable. How she let Tariq out the house and out of her sight. Your daughter just died. You only got 2 more kids left. You gonna let your kids out your sight? Your son was there that night. And you gonna take your eyes off him and let him just waltz out the house? I mean, you gotta have, I understand it's Hollywood, but some things have to be believable. No, Power is finna come back in 2 weeks. I mean, not come back as an episode. I mean, filming. They start shooting in 2 weeks. I think September the 17th is the first day of shooting. So the script is already written for the entire season. They finna start shooting season 5 next week. I mean, in 2 weeks. In season 5, any new characters? I believe we're having 2 new characters in season 5 that we know nothing about. Right now, they just have 2 new characters. Nobody's really told us, but they're with the Councilman. Dre will probably die before the season is out. But they're going to realize they're going to have a bigger problem with the Councilman. I think Ghost will die before the season's out. Ghost will die in the last season. I don't think power is going to end the way a lot of people think. Angela will kill Ghost. I think she's going to end up having to kill Ghost. When this is all over, in the last season, Angela's going to be the one to pull the trigger to kill Ghost. She ain't going to have a choice. That's how I think power ends. She's going to have to kill the man she loves. And she ain't going to want to do it. But she ain't going to have a choice. Because he's not going to want to go to jail. A lot of people will not be happy when power ends. I guarantee it. When power has that last episode, a lot of people are going to be pissed off. I guarantee you that's coming. It's for the tension. It's like everything comes full circle. Ghost will sacrifice himself for his family. You got season 5, season 6, and season 7. After season 7, that's it. People are done. Like, unless they get renewed to keep going for some more years, after 7 seasons, that's it. Kanan's gonna be the one to Kanan's gonna probably die in I think season 5 or season 6. Dre and Kanan is gonna have a fight, and Dre's gonna find a way. They're gonna get the drop on Kanan. But people don't realize is that Sachs is going to have to be dealt with. Sachs is going to try to come out the Ghost and create a case so they can go after James St. Patrick, especially after what happened in the shooting death of this police officer. Well, the fact that Lorenz Tate is a street councilman, and just like any councilman from your neighborhood or alderman of your ward, any alderman of your ward, sorry about that, most of them have street pull. That's how they get elected. A lot of these state officials, they used to, Dolores Tucker out here, she was employed by a lot of the gang members out here. A lot of the gangster disciples back in the day had her elected. So she'll look out for them and they'll look out for her and make sure she's elected every year. You see, no, not her. It was another one here in Chicago, a politician. I'm sorry, not Dolores Tucker, Dorothy Tillman. That's her name, Dorothy Tillman. And the gangster disciples kept keeping her in office. And see, that's what the government, the federal government, really wanted to get Mr. Hoover on. And they wanted to get Mr. Hoover because he was trying to awaken. And that's why they came after Rap-A-Lot Records. Because they put Larry Hoover on their album, the Ghetto Boys album, To Death Do Us Apart. And Larry Hoover's in there he's talking on there, getting people to go vote. He's not in there telling people to act crazy. He's telling people how to get these people out of office, vote them out of office. Go in there and register to vote. And he's like, I'm trying to wake that sleeping giant. And they don't want me to wake that sleeping giant. And that's when they came after him, moved him from Illinois, moved him somewhere else in hiding where no one can contact him. He got 23-hour lockdowns. And they came and shut everything down, his whole operation. Oh yeah, the Resurrection album. Because that's how they control the office. They had a bunch of gangster disciples running for congressmen, aldermen. They had Gator running. They had a lot of people running because they realized this is the way to do it. So when you see a crooked councilman, you knew like Lorenz Tate, he already had the backing for all these guys that was thugs in the neighborhood. So you automatically know he's not afraid of Ghost either. He don't care who Ghost was back in the day. He don't even care. His thing is, look, I'm me, you, and I don't care what you do. I got more. He feel like I got more power than you, so I don't fear you at all. Now this Sachs, this Terry Silver situation has gotten out of control. Now, if they write that in the script that she's pregnant by Terry Silver, they write that in the script, that'll be even a darker turn because Silver's already in love and she's already fallen out of love with Silver. Because she wants Silver to be there for her, but Silver is a guy who's pretty much selfish. He's self-centered. He doesn't know, like he says, well, show me because I don't know how to care. And this is what I was talking about before. She never brought up the fact like, look, I got kids. You know, you dealing with a man who don't have kids. He don't have a pet. He's a lawyer. He's not used to dealing with kids. And you talking about starting a life with this guy? You got to know what you're getting into or know what you're getting him into. And you already talking about leaving your husband to go run behind him. And this dude didn't call heck of feelings messing around with a married woman. You know, and don't realize that her husband is very dangerous. And now he didn't caught all these extra feelings. Tasha's like, wait a minute now. And the reason why she's pushing herself back from Terry is because she blames herself. She's not saying it, but she's secretly torturing herself because she was screwing him while her daughter was being killed. So she blames a lot of her sins on what she did. And she's, wretched with guilt. But this goes back to who was the worst parent. When I made that video, who was the worst parent? Ghost or Tasha? Now, Tasha got that gun in the house, the combination in its safe. She goes in there. Not only does Tyreek knows the combination to the safe, he gets the gun and runs right out. Star's got a whole bunch of shows on there that they could flush down the toilet. All these old Viking shows they got out. I'm like, man, they could just flush Outlander. I'm like, man, flush that stuff down the toilet and put Power back on, man. Put Power on, man. Nobody trying to see that garbage, man. You put that on 10 episodes. Give us some Power. We need about 12, 13 episodes of Power. Nobody trying to see no doggone Vikings. Now, Black Sail look good. I don't got no problems with Black Sail. No, 16 is too many. Like, when you do that, you need at least 12. Because you're doing 1 hour episodes. So, yeah, that's it. You see, and this is the thing that the reason why is that they don't understand that black dramas. We don't have any black drama shows on television. This is like the only one. Empire, they think if we black and on TV, we gotta sing. We gotta be singing and doing something. No, Tyreek created this whole situation with his fascination of wanting to try to follow into a lifestyle he don't know nothing about, going off lean, being dumb. Well, Tasha, she made herself, now she's wretched in guilt because now she's got to try to find a way to keep going, knowing that her kids didn't, come first when they should have. Well, will we see more of Simon Stern? We might and we might not. I mean, you got to think about it. The Raina character wasn't really a big character. This is the most we've seen of Raina this season than we've ever seen Raina probably ever. She was like, she only had a few lines, and all last season, she was barely seen last season. You didn't see too much of Raina at all. You didn't see too much of the kids. No, they needed something to grab you. The tension. But that should have all been in one episode. They had to rush these episodes and rush the plot, rush the writing. This is what made Power so good, was the writing. The writing of the show made it so great when it was playing out in the first 2 seasons. Now, certain seasons, they thought they would have more episodes to explain it. They got to rush it because it messes up the writing of the episodes. They asked for 2 additional episodes. They thought they were going to get them. And now when they didn't get them, you got to condense what you have to make the episode so much. Like the episode with Tommy and when he goes to Chicago, they had all these things going on at once. It was just too much for 1 hour. This whole thing here with all of these people running around town trying to find who killed Raina all in one day, and the way they blending in all the other storylines from Julio getting killed and Dre and Jimenez and Kanan teaming up with him, and the way everything was like a quick fix. Now that Dre now knows Tommy's looking for him because the preacher told him for whatever reason, Oh, I can't do it. You killed Julio. Who told you that? Tommy. Like, what? What would make you think that was cool to do? Or even say that? That was dumb. Why would you? You should have known you finna die. Now Dre's aware that Tommy knows. The only thing that's going to be interesting is how the DOJ is going to play this next season, because they might have Tommy, by the balls. Remember, on that video, that audio that Proctor got, it doesn't incriminate. It don't incriminate Ghost. It incriminates Tommy. Tommy's the one on there. Of course he got street ties, but you don't know what the councilman's position is. He's all about kickback. We got to kick money to this guy, pay him. So he might have to bring him in on certain situations. We don't know yet. Ghost will find an angle. But so far, he has no moves right now with this councilman. He's got to play ball. See, the Jimenez don't want a war. They don't need a war. So if anything's going to lead to the war, like with the Tallanos getting killed, that's why they were so concerned, because they don't want a war. They were just getting ready. They were just getting ready to give Tommy everything he wanted. And then Dre came in and had to rush things because he's like, I can't have that. And he's thinking he put Tommy out of business when he did his move and took all of Tommy's connects and they all went over there. Who's banging that chick that he had? She's back doing the same thing, working in the whorehouse she was working at when Julio grabbed her. Well, Tommy's already met his family. Now he's already in, and they're gonna be moving to Chicago weight. So now you're gonna have people fighting for territory still. But in the end, Teresi's gonna want something from Tommy. Tommy and Ghost. He's not gonna like dealing with Ghost all the time. Season 5 is not yet started. It's coming. They're going to start filming in 2 weeks. So you got plenty of other things to watch. And watch the whole season of Power one more time again. See, and this is where Tommy took his car back from his mom. And his car is being traced. Tommy's never getting rid of that car. That's his baby. Yeah, Ozarks is wild. She's confessing to Silver because she knows that Tariq did a sloppy job. And now he feels like he's a gangster, he's a thug or whatever, and he's ready. But he's becoming a problem. Now, the Spanish chick talking, that thing wouldn't have made it past the front door. She in her own story, her man got killed. She never seen her man again. They never found his body. So there's no murder to that case at all, if he is murdered. He's a gangbanger. You talking about a man with stature, and you said you were blindfolded the whole time, but you could remember his voice. That's not even a case. That's just, oh, remember season 1? So them trying to turn this into a case. Did this guy said Tariq is going to kill Ray Ray with Kanan's help? I would advise you get off this thing right now and go watch the last episode, because the last episode already went off. That's really funny what you just said. Yes, I will be doing an Ozark like season preview and everything. I'll be streaming that live from the Screen Feint account. Yeah, nobody seems to like Dre for some reason. All Dre is doing is being opportunistic and trying to be like Ghost. Proctor still has that evidence that he keeps lying and talking about he destroyed. But he's talking about he's keeping it for his protection. That's how problems arise. Because if an investigation goes into Tommy, they could launch an investigation into Proctor, where they could find that PC and come get him because Proctor was his lawyer. And if anything happens with Proctor, as far as we need to find out more evidence or any type of case on Proctor and his practices, they can come down on Proctor, because Proctor right now, he's disbarred. He doesn't have his license back, even though it's probably a matter of time before he gets it back. They could say, well, we have an investigation into Tommy Egan, and, Proctor could be related to this incident. So now we got to investigate Proctor. They can come in and bring a warrant for a search and might find that PC that has that audio. How did I know? It was This season has been very predictable. Because of the writing, they have to speed things up. You knew once they tried to attack Kanan that eventually he was going to team up to go get. They have a common enemy, which was Dre. Dre has been a thorn in his side because Dre was paying him, and then Dre is positioning himself, and he doesn't need Kanan. So now he's like, I got what I want. I don't need Kanan. We need to have Kanan out of the way. So he tried to get Cristobal to do it because Cristobal had the Tyanos. Now Cristobal really don't have that kind of pull like that. The rest of the Tyanos are out there, but they're gonna want some answers now that 3 of them or 4 of them are dead. A little more than that. I mean, everybody that died besides Ray Ray was Tyanos. Yeah, they are like the Tommy and Ghost. They're the new age Tommy and Ghost. Cristobal don't really like Tommy and Ghost. Never liked their practices. But Cristobal knows Tommy's crazy. He respects him. Yeah, that's a lot of parameters people got to figure out. Yeah, I know. People still talking about Ray Ray. That's like, man, they didn't see the last episode, so I feel bad for him. Yeah, the way Jukebox went out in that episode, it's like they wrapped it up too quick, too fast. They went back to the original plot like right away. I think next season, the fact that they tracking Tommy, that's gonna end up adding up. Cause that beeper on the end of that car, they're gonna see that car was at the crime scene, and they're gonna think Tommy and her were all together. Oh well, thank you. We will be doing Ozark over there on Screen Fiend too. You keep saying it's not activated. Do you see that tracker beeping when they pulled off? Well, the Lala characters is on there just to bring her in every now and then. She really has no storyline. Right now, they have no use for Keisha except for her and Tasha are running the shop. She's too old for that part. She just got everything. Got Lulu from Paid in Full. I guess so. So y'all tell me, what do y'all want to see in season 5? I don't know if Dre dies in season 5. He might. But I really doubt it. I think they might drag that out. Ghost beat the lawyer, man. Oh, my guest appearance on Power? Oh, that'd be epic. That'd be better than my 7/10 of a second of me being on HBO 24/7. I guess everybody keeps finding that every now and then and sending it to me. Like, look, you was on TV. I'm like, really? I'm like, HBO need to cut me a check. Season 6 gonna be a bloodbath. What about 5? You just skipped all over 5. He like, forget 5, man. We going right into season 6. I could be the first old head that used to hustle in Hollis, Queens. What are you talking about? Well, Dre's got to run them now. And my thing is, the nightclub should have went back to Ghost once he got out. Chicago club owners don't really make it pan out too well. Most of them get shot down and murdered. But it's been fun. I'm going to wrap this up because I got some stuff I got to do. But yes, when we do the Ozark, we will be doing it on Screen Fiend. And it will be done live. So that way you guys got a chance to respond to it. Peace out.